Hey everybody! I am working on creating a darling little farm stand for the end of our driveway so we can be selling cut flowers, whatever happens that we feel like we want to put out there. And I'm just so excited by how it's coming together. I want to share kind of my design and my approach here and the different factors that I'm weighing out as I'm pulling it together. And it's just such a fun process. It's super creative. It's fun. I also just love that it can just not be perfect. It can just be messy. It doesn't have to be formal or buttoned up or real sophisticated because it's a farm stand. It's going to be outside. It's going to be in the elements. And it's just something that makes my heart sing. So I'm just having a ball. I've had this idea in my head for years and finally acting on it. And it could not be more fulfilling. It's everything I would hoped it would be.
Want to show everybody what we're working on?
All right, so here's what we're looking at right now. Some of this followed my vision. Some of it changed and morphed as I got into the work, which, you know, with any creative process, that's likely to happen. You run into obstacles or new ideas occur and you're like, oh my gosh, what if I did this? What if I did that? And it's very playful and fun. So what we have here are two separate desks that I got for super cheap on Marketplace. Oh, I love Facebook Marketplace. I love it. And at first I had gotten this really cheap, very basic desk footprint here. My goal all along was to have something that bolts onto a pallet so we can easily use the tractor forks to move it back and forth out front. Just takes the guesswork out of, hauling things and makes it super easy. Now, as I started working on this, I knew I wanted to drill some holes for buckets in the top so I could put flower buckets in there. And I wanted a surface with some space to put other buckets as we see fit, as we have things to put out or not. So this is coming together nicely from a structure standpoint. And I also happen to have this really beautiful antique oak desk with pieces like this on it. And I didn't know what to do. It was actually falling apart. And it's just one of those pieces where I grabbed it because I just loved it. It was calling me, but I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't know a place to put it in our house. And I actually demoed it. I started pulling it apart, and like this piece was really pretty. This was one of the surfaces of the desk, and I thought, well, this could be like a shelf or something. And then this piece is actually the top that folded down. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh my goodness. I love the carving on it. And it occurred to me, I was like, well, wait, what if I started to piece these together? And I knew this piece I really wanted to have be sort of a backdrop aesthetically and a little tiny bit of windbreak, not significant, but it might be nice if I have flowers in here to have something to provide a little tiny bit of shelter. But moreover, it just makes me happy because it's so darn cute. So I started to play with it, and I'm so happy with where I ended up because this occurred to me yesterday. I was like, oh my gosh, this shelf thing would be a great piece to add onto the side where you can see I've got the legs here and it's more open. The way I want to position this is the road is here, and that way the flowers are showing up more off to the left. And then I wanted to have the pay box, the honor box for cash on this side, and discreet, not really out there. And I was like, well, I need something solid to put that on. And it occurred to me, oh my gosh, what if I put this piece? So I just kind of played around with the position of this gorgeous piece. And I really, really like it. It's wacky, it's different, it's fun. And I just took the braces I had, because I had extra brackets from bolting down the desk to the pallet. And I was like, oh my gosh, what if I did that? And it worked out beautifully. It is really, really solid and tight. And then I have the payment box, a cash box, coming tomorrow from Amazon. So I'm going to then bolt that in here, secure it there. So it's in a really nice location. It's a little bit stylish, which makes me happy. And I was like, how do I get something that's self-contained for a sign that literally lists prices and items that I can easily work with and isn't a pain in the butt. And so I was like, oh, do I put something here, lay here? But there's not a lot of space, and flowers will likely spill over here, kind of cramped. And I just love this piece from the lid of the desk. And I thought, why not do this? Why not have it be like a vertical menu board, if you will, like a vertical list of items like small bouquet, large bouquet, mini pumpkin, or whatever I have. And I'm still figuring out how I want to list that. I might just laminate a piece of paper and clip it on. But regardless, I just love the utility of it. I also think the wood, the grain is so pretty. Like, this character is just so wonderful. And it's got the little keyhole thing, and it's got these old hinges on it. It just makes me happy. So I've gotten this all secured, and there's also these charming drawers. And they're actually going to do double duty here and here, because the buckets that go in rest a little bit on these areas here. So that can't hurt once I put the drawers back in. And I just think it's kind of charming and cute. So right now I'm about halfway done, I would say. And my next step is paint. So it's not going to be all brown like it looks right now. I'm going to paint most of this, including the palette, this gorgeous mint green that I got, and use exterior paint, and then I'm going to seal it. And I love the old antique pieces so much, so this piece, that piece, and that piece, that my thought right now is I actually want to leave them as is and then paint everything else the mint, and just see how that works. I think those colors will look really gorgeous together. Like, mint and brown are such a beautiful palette combination when you think about the color wheel, and they really have a great contrast with each other. Now I've got the painter's tape on here. You know, it's really funny how skills are transferable project to project, and you get more confident as you go. I find it really fun, like how fast I was able to do this. It was very enjoyable because I have painted so many darn rooms in our house, and I have done a ton of edging and, you know, all the prep work to make sure that the edges that you don't want to have get painted are covered really well. And so this was just a breeze. So my thought is, if I outline these gorgeous antique pieces, I should be pretty good on not getting the mint paint on them. All right, we're painting, and we have the color Mint Parfait from Behr. Got it at Home Depot. This is an exterior interior oil base satin, and it's going on real grabby. That would be my phrase for it, real grabby. It's very, very grabby. So it doesn't go on real smooth, but that's good because it's definitely like latching onto the furniture. And it's just going to be great. It's exactly what I was hoping for. So obviously it's going to need a second coat, but you can see, especially in the bright sunlight, it looks almost white. It's such a light color. And it looks really nice against that wood. Woohoo! I'm really, really excited. So I'm just going to keep going. The best part about this project is I love painting. It is very soothing to me. And this is a project where I can make a giant mess. It doesn't have to be perfect. I can just slap it on. So it's very, very fun. It's not about perfection. And my real focus here is to just get a real good coat slathered on and make sure I get in the crevices on the top, just thinking about where like water might deposit outdoors if it were to get exposed to rain. Things like that. Just make sure it's real functional and enjoy the process. Coat 1 is done. And as it dries, I'm starting to see that mint color come through a little more. Even though the sun makes it so bright and reflective, it almost looks white up front in person anyway. I love it. I can already see it coming to life. This is really, really exciting. I got a couple splatters onto that wood, but really, who cares? So then I'm gonna let this dry, come back for round 2, and then seal. We're going for rustic shabby chic here, not polished and perfect. My gosh, this is so cute. She's so tuckered out. She's been running around playing with her toys this morning, hanging around me while I'm working on the farm stand. She is out. This is heaven to me, right here. Day 2, getting on the second coat here, and wow, is that looking great. Look at all the mintiness. As the paint's dribbling, it's reminding me literally of a mint parfait. It's kind of like ice cream melting. Isn't it pretty? What a gorgeous color. It is so satisfying to put the second coat on because you're covering up all the imperfections of that first coat, and you're getting it on real. We're getting it on real generous here so that it has really good coverage for weather and, well, just really nice color. Woohoo! Isn't that darling? I'm loving it. The lighting isn't good, but I just got the finishing touches done on the farm stand here. The cash box came today, so I screwed that on. Got all the hardware on the drawers and pulled off the painter's tape, and it just looks absolutely fantastic. About a month in, I ended up moving the cash box. I had it over here. I repositioned it just so it's much more clear for folks, like, hey, here's where you put the cash. And I've got 2 buckets here. This is a smaller one for posies, like shorter bouquets, which have done pretty well. People seem to really like those. They are a consistent seller. And then this is a standard bucket for standard, like medium, large size bouquets. And I have room on the bottom here to add as many more buckets as I want, or if we want to sell other things. The other day we put some sweet corn ears out that we grew from the garden too, and that worked super well. All right, we're all set up. So I just put the flower stand underneath this pine tree for shade, and we're real nice and close to the road here. So it's really cute. And I've actually got my woodland garden here, and I've been contouring it so that there's space for the flower stand. And I just love it. I think it's just wonderful. And I also love how the mint paint pops against the darker forest background. Gorgeous, if I say so myself. All grown from seed. This is the result of months of hard work paying off. A lot of these were started inside or out in the garden. But regardless, it's just so rewarding, such a labor of love. Could not be more proud.